Hello, LEGO lovers. This is Elle, and this is a LEGO parts review of the Wildflower Bouquet, set number 10313, and it has 939 pieces and retails for around $60. So, if you like this video, hopefully you'll like it, and, down below with the thumbs up, and maybe subscribe if you want to see more, and leave a comment if you like my parts reviews or not. But this is pretty much the stuff from all of bag one, and it's a lot of stuff. This is a supplemental bag on the side here, and we'll start with that. So we have a huge axle here, and there's like 10 of these. In this kind of lighter green. I don't know if those were in lighter green previously, but yeah, these are going to be the stems of the flowers, and it's just a really interesting part to get. Going into this, we have, as you can see, a pile of the 5-leaf kind of flower part. A lot. Nice part here is this brown kind of 4-bar with axle kind of thing in the middle. Just nice and brown because you can use it for trees or just different kind of wood type builds. And then in green, one of my favorite parts, the 1x2 rounded plate with holes in the studs. Nothing too exciting else down here. We just got a couple of parts, little parts here and there. As you can see here, not too special, but there's a lot of that small red axle. We also have kind of the smaller yellow axle, which I don't think is too common. And we have a good amount of clips, looks like about 10 or 12 of the yellow kind of clip here. Just don't see it in that color too often. We have some of these, not too special. Here we have a whole bunch of this green grass or leaf or stem part. This is the one that goes into the bar, and then you can put the little accessory flowers on there. Just a really nice part. Lots of uses for trees and grass, etc. We also have this in sand green. Not sure what to describe this part, but basically a 2x2 circular kind of plate with bars kind of coming off of each side, and in sand green, which is cool because then again, like, obviously this is for flowers, but you're going to get a lot of different uses that you can use that for in a green color. Back here, we also have kind of a newer color, but I think we've had this in the Friends before, but it's basically kind of like a inverted flower petal leaf thing. Just a nice part, but we only got 2 in this bag here. Yellow circle, not too special. Don't see it in yellow maybe a whole lot, but nothing too special. Here we have what is actually a tire axle or hubcap or something. I am not a car person, but this is in that light cool yellow kind of color. And there's 2 of them, just kind of a different part and weird color. Can't complain about that. This part's an interesting one, and we have lots of them in here. 8, I believe, yep. They use them as flower petals, but it's kind of like a shoulder pad type part for like bigger mechs or character builds, but I don't remember seeing ones with bar connections. I think they're pretty new, but I really like just different options, and I think this is going to be a great part. Yes, I want to see it in pink, of course, but you get 8 of them, so it's kind of nice. This is not a new part, however, it is a new color for the part. It's kind of like the palm leaf, whatever you want to call it, big leaf, multi-leaf, I don't know. But either way, it's in dark green, which has never been in before as far as I know. So you get a pile of them, as you can see back there, and it's just a really nifty coloring for a greenery part, just because the dark green is just nice. It's very nice. It's a little more realistic than cartoonish, I guess you could say. Back in this plate, we have tons of axle connectors. We got a bunch of the, dark green ones here. Pretty much the standard thing they use for the stems of the plants. They'll use these a lot, and it's in a dark green, which is nice. And then here we have kind of a lighter green, shorter type variant. Not too exciting, but still nice. We have some angles, not a whole lot, and a little bit of angles in that color. So that's it for bag 1. So let's get on to the next bag. All right, here we are with bag 2, and as you can see, it's quite a bit smaller parts in this bag, but let's get into it. First up, we'll start down here. This is a rare color I think we've just recently got for this little wrench type part in white. Happy to get like 7 of those. 3-leaf part, not too special. These are kind of nice. It's a 1x1 plate, round with hole in it. Can't complain about that. Cones, not too special. These, however, these type of cones are kind of nice. Starting to see these quite a bit more, but it's kind of like, I don't know how to describe it. Cone with bar on top? I don't know, but it's a nice part. I like it. You can put a bar in there. It's cool. Here we have kind of like a blade or a sword part. Pretty sure they're using it for like a thorn or a blade of grass or something. There's only 3, not too special. This is kind of neat. This is a brown bracket type brick with brackets on every side, and it's in that brown color, the reddish brown, and there's quite a few of them. It's just a nice part to get that's very versatile. This is insane to me. We have a grass type part or stem type part in dark purple. Not a color I would think that we would ever see it in, but we have like 5 of them down there, and yeah, it's really cool because pink and purple are awesome colors. Speaking of that, but not quite as special, we have this kind of light purple minifigure head. Not too special, there's only 2. We got some more gold circular plates, which are kind of common. This is an awesome part, especially for plants and greenery. It's kind of like, they've been using it as like a drinking straw and clear, but we have a bar with angle, kind of, to a stud. Just a really nice part to get, and in green, good for vines and all kinds of stuff. Speaking of that, we also have this very new part, which is, I think they used it for corn, but it's just an interesting plant part. It's kind of like a stem with extra stem off of it. Just a versatile part because you can connect them in different ways. Looks like we got about 6 or 7 there. Going up here, going through the unexciting things, we have red axles. We have green bars, which are actually kind of an uncommon color. We have blue flowers in the standard kind of blue, which I don't know if I've seen those too often before, but there's only 3 of them there. We have the white eggshell part, which is great for lilies and flowers of all sorts and broken eggs. And we have it in green, which we haven't had it in before. Just awesome. I can't complain. It's just more awesome parts. There's a few in here, not like piles of it. We have this purple 3-leaf, which we've had before a couple times, but just a whole bunch of it, a whole pile right there. We have this flower, the 5-flower part. Just kind of, again, a nice part to get. Lots of flower. Obviously, this is a wildflower bouquet, so it'd be silly to have not a lot. Over here, we have a reddish-brown minifigure head. Not sure if we've had that before, just plain, with no printing, but we get a couple there. We get this interesting part, which goes with a lot of the other parts. It's the candlestick part. You can see it has bar connection on bottom, and you can stick a bar in there too. Only a couple of those. Some more of these axle parts, not too special. This is insane. Another insane part in this set. So I don't know how to describe this, but it's like a weird part with lots of connections. You have 3 stud and or bar connections, I think, on each end here, like a 3 thing. I believe you can also put clips on that end, and you can put a bar through it, and you can do different studs and stuff like this. I'm not sure if this was how the old one was designed, because I don't remember if you could actually put bars in there. Either way, it's also in dark purple, and you get like 5 of them here. That's an awesome part. I cannot complain about, because I tried looking at how much those would cost to buy. They're very expensive, and that's not even in dark purple. We have some white bars here, not too special. This, though, I think is the first time we've had this part in that color of blue. Kind of crazy to see so many recolors in this set. And for that, you get a whole bunch of them too, and also recolored in blue. You have this blue cracked egg flower leaf type part that we had in green and white. Just another color for this. It's just crazy all the recolors in here that this is getting. And I'm just really happy. And this is bag 2, and I think we have a couple more bags to go. So let's get into those next couple bags. All right, here we are on bag 3. And a lot of small parts again. However, quite some interesting parts. So let's get into it. First of all, up here, we have kind of a simple part, but tons of them in white. It's the like water faucet part. And it's just kind of a nice part. It's got a lot of bar connections and studs, anti-studs, so that's really good. Really simple part. White cylinder. Oh boy. More of these. We've seen a couple of these in previous bags. We got some lime green circle. Yeah, not too special there. We do have more of these in reddish brown. Just, again, nice to get quite a few more. We have this part, which I think we've had before, but it's kind of like the, I don't know, tooth, some people would call it. Whatever it is, but quite a few of those in that kind of ghostly green color. That's what I call it, at least. Down here we have just a ton of these 1x1 circular plates with hole through it. I love the hole through it because it just adds tons of diversity, and as you can see, we have 3 of these filled, so there's a lot. We have some of the Technic kind of connector part, not too special, just 3 of those. I'm not sure if we've had this in that ghostly green color yet, but it's just a cone part. Just 2 of them here. Moving over here, we do have a circular plate with hole in it. Not too common. I don't see those type of parts very often. I don't think we've had it in lime. Not 100% sure on that. Either way, it's just nice to get a couple more. Then we have more of these type of bracket parts, but this time in lime. Just a couple there. We have some 1x1 purple studs. Not too special, but it's not too common of a color, I would say. We got a jumper, 2x2 round jumper, we'll call it. And you can put a bar through it. Just 2 of those, which is kind of nice. We got some bars. We do have some gray axles down here. More red axles. That's not overly exciting. And then we have this stuff up here, which this is a magenta pirate hat mold. Yep, that is exactly what this is supposed to be. Normally they come in black with like a skull and crossbones type design on there, but as you can see, they're using it, I think, as like a bloom or a bud. And we have few in magenta, actually quite a bit, maybe about 10 or 12, and then we have like 20 in dark purple. It's just a super unique part to see recolored, and it's one of the cool things that they're doing with the floral sets is they're using some interesting parts recolored, and I really like that because it kind of shows you can do different stuff with parts you might not think could be used for that. But let's jump into what I believe will be the last bag. All right, here we are on the last bag. So again, quite a few small parts. However, there are some larger parts, but let's get into it. First of all, we have the oar piece in orange yellow, which, to be honest, is pretty much fine. You find like that stuff in yellow. I think they used that for the sunflowers that they had previously made, but there's a whole ton of them. And then a surprise is the same part in magenta. And again, this is just something that sticks into a bar, and they're using these as petals, which makes perfect sense because effectively that's kind of what they are. But you can see you get a whole ton of them in magenta. Here we got some axles, nothing too special. We have more of those axle connectors. We have some more of these parts. The nice kind of newer green stem with extra stem part. I don't know what to call it. Some simple 3 leaves, which are kind of a common part. Here we have white flowers, some royal blue flowers. We have more of a standard green 1x1 circular plate with bar hole. And then we also have more of these angled bar to stud parts. So just cool to get more of those. More of these green candlesticks. This is an interesting and probably the most least colorful part. Then the entirety of the set is we have this kind of like bar little piece type part that you can put accessories in each side. Don't know how to explain it, but it's a really awesome part because it's like the smallest bar, kind of just one bar part, even though it does have that middle part. And that's in dark gray, and there's 4 of those there. In the middle, we have some of our biggest parts. We have the kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, but like the hat part you'll see in some Ninjago figures, and other things. But I think we've had it in this color. I could be wrong. Maybe we only had it in tan, but there's 2 of those. We have the green leaf part that's fairly common. This is very common now in most every flower type set. It's the giant steering wheel. Just a great bar part that you can have lots of connections. So you can get kind of that flowing kind of, I don't know, tuliping of petals. There's only 2 here. Then we have this Technic axle type, oh gosh, I don't know how to explain it, part. Otherwise, you can put an axle through it, and you can also put 4 bars through each of these little kind of nodules, I believe. I think they use this a lot for just hitting things to make it move like a gear. And we have 3 of those in green, which I don't think we've had in that color. I could be wrong. Either that or it's not very common. Usually I see those in black. This is an interesting one. 2 of these. This is the kind of normally brown bucket part. And this is 2 of those in green. Just a really different color for it. Has a lot of nice side texture for the barrel type look. And yeah, you get 2 of them in that color. Up here we have another color of the wrench. There's a lot of these in this set. We have had orange before. I'm not sure. I think Nexonites perhaps had some, or some other sets. But yeah, whole bunch of those in orange. We have another color for this like petal type part here. This is kind of the light blue or royal blue. Don't think we've had that in that color yet, so that's probably a new recolor. Also, I think a new recolor, the 3-leaf, whoops, 3-leaf part in light blue. My goodness. And then another recolor, we have the wrench in purple-ish, or light purple color. My goodness. Another recolor. We have really nasty green sausage, or you might refer to them as somewhat looking like a pickle, although it's a long, thin pickle, maybe English cucumber or something. I don't know. I don't like pickles at all, period, and let's not talk about that in the comments. But yeah, they have this part, which since it's a bar, it makes it great for just another stem part. So I'm just happy to see that in green, and you get quite a few. You get like 6 or 7 there. And then here, we have more of a common part, but a kind of a different color. Just in a nice blue color. It's that 2x2 circle with bar hole. And light blue minifigure heads. I think I've seen those before. And just some other circular parts that aren't really too special, and some more axle connectors. So finally, that is the end of all the parts. And my final opinion. So this is a $60 set. I think it totals around 900 or so pieces. Obviously, you have a lot of small pieces. These are probably the biggest pieces. So parts-wise, the size of the parts is not as big. However, as with most floral parts, and I didn't think I would ever have another set that would be as good as the regular flower bouquet, you can see an assortment of different colors of parts, recolors of parts that we have never had before. And there's lots of them. It's not like, oh, you get one new colored wrench or one new colored 3-flower thing. You actually get quite a few. And of course, having lots of green parts is just great for if you're building mocks. You can get lots of trees and lots of different plants. I kind of like building little different alien type plants, or just weird plants that are colorful. There's some other basic parts that are pretty interesting. There's just so many parts that are recolored in here that are in this set. I don't know if we'll see them in future sets or not. So even if you're not into the flower aspect, just the colorfulness and like rarity of the parts in here is fantastic. Really great, lots of useful parts in my mind. They do tend towards the more colorful or greenery. However, you can use that for all different kinds of stuff. Um, Also, these axles, you get a lot of them. It's just kind of interesting that you get so many. And yeah, I cannot say anything bad about this set. Like I said, it's all very colorful. Maybe that's not your thing. Maybe you're a Star Wars person, and if it's not gray, it's not Star Wars. But lots of great parts. Super excited to have this set. The build is probably going to be great. I'll do a review on that separate. But I'll say right now, if you're not into flowers, but you're into parts or colorful parts, this is a great set to get. So I can't suggest it enough. When I first saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. The longer I looked at it, I just kept saying it was more awesome. And then now that I have it and have gone through all the bags, there's just so many awesome parts and just great colors in there. And I've probably said that about 17 times right now, but I cannot say it enough, I guess. But I'm going to wrap up this review and just say this set's awesome. Super awesome, colorful, interesting parts usage. You got the pirate hats, which are just kind of funny. But they're going to work because I've seen the pictures. So, but yeah, this is a fantastic set. I'm getting it for my mom for, well, Christmas because it didn't come out on time. But I've been getting her a lot of these flowers. I hope she does like them. I think she does. And it's just really cool that you can have a hobby Lego and then be able to actually legitimately give some sort of gift to someone that isn't necessarily a Lego fan, but they know what Lego is. So they're obviously not going to want the parts. They're going to want to build up usually. But still, just the colorfulness, I think, makes just an awesome set. But I'll wrap it up here. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. Subscribe if you want to see more. Let me know in the comments if you like parts reviews, if you just want the reviews, whatever, because the more I know, the more I can cater what I like doing to what everyone else likes doing as well. So thanks again for watching, and hopefully you check out more of my videos.